and welcome to Random Acts of Kindness, the happy news. Today is Flag Day, happy Flag Day,
June 14th.
and I am so happy to welcome my dear father in law, Malcolm, and I'd like to ask him a beautiful story in his life that was a random act of kindness.
Well, when I was about 8 years old, I went with my cousins in St. Joe, where I was living, to the home of Jesse James on a tour with the boys, with them. Cost 10 cents to get in. I had my dime with me, and as I was approaching the door, I dropped the dime and it rolled into a, like a rain vent where the rainwater would run down.
Yep.
Couldn't get it out of there, and I started to cry because I wasn't able to go in with my cousins to visit Jesse James' home. But one of them, the older cousin, Burton, gave me a dime, one of his, so that I could go in with them.
So that's
So that was an exciting experience.
What year was that? Around?
What year? Let me see. I was around 8.
A dime was a lot. I mean, that was a lot
Yeah,
of
that
money.
was a big deal.
It's a
Like
dime.
$5 now would be like that, a dime. That must have been in 1940. 1940.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's way
That's a
back
great
then.
story. Generosity.
Very nice. Yeah.
And I think you have another one.
I
when
have
you were
another
19.
one, a little more recent than that, but I was about 19. I was 19 then. And the actor Tony Curtis used to come over to my parents' house where I was living on weekends to visit his mother and father, who lived 2 blocks away in an apartment building that he had bought for them to manage when he brought them out from New York. But they had no yard. They'd open their front door, take 2 steps down, and be on the sidewalk. We had a big backyard. We lived 2 blocks away. Tony's father was a tailor and worked where my mother worked. My mother was the model for a coat and suit company and the bookkeeper. And so she gave them their checks to the tailors every Friday. And that's how we knew his parents. And they would come over and sit in our backyard, and Tony would come over and visit them when I was 19. Well, anyway, he took me to Universal Studios on tour to look around and introduced me to all the young players there. They became my party friends, the young actors.
So great.
Showbiz is my background. Anyway, um, we drove in his beautiful 1951 powder blue Buick convertible. I'll always remember that. He's famous for his cars anyway. In fact, he started me collecting cars. That's how I started having such nice cars in my life. But anyway, he took me to the barber shop, to all the different areas there. He took me to the barber shop where, um, let's see, Saul Jacoby was the barber. And he said, Saul, give him the Tony Curtis hairstyle.
Oh my goodness.
And that's what I'm still wearing. Back on the sides, little curlies up here, ducktail in the back. That's what I'm still wearing. And the last time I saw Tony was about 5 years ago. He's passed away since then.
God bless you, Tony.
Yeah. I said, look at me. I'm still wearing the Tony Curtis hairstyle. And he said, and look at me. He had a cowboy hat. He lifted it up. There were about 10 hairs sticking out of his head. That was it. He'd lost all his hair and was wearing toupees at that time. Wow, that was a sad story.
Anyway, that's the Tony Curtis hairstyle.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Those are beautiful stories.
Yeah, they're touching to me too. As you can see,
Love you.
it makes me reminisce some beautiful stories.
So thank you so much. Thanks for listening to these beautiful stories. Love you.
I love you.
Thank you for sharing. And we're just here